Welcome back. So today is part 3 for radicals. So we're going to be working through solving equations that have radicals in them. So the first example that we're going to go through is from your worksheet. It's number 1. If you want to take a look at that one, so we have square root of x minus 10 equals 15. So when we're solving this for x, we're trying to get x by itself, so we want to move everything else to the other side. So since all of our terms are underneath the radical sign, we have to get rid of that radical first. So in order to get rid of a square root, we are going to square both sides. So we're going to take the square root of x minus 10, and we are going to square that. And we're going to do the same thing on the right-hand side. We're going to take the 15 and we're going to square it. So the square root and the square, those cross each other out. We're left with x minus 10 equals 15 squared, which is 225. So then from there, we're just solving it like any other multi-step equation that you would have had in Algebra 1. So we have a 10 here, subtracting, so we're going to add 10 to both sides. So we get x equals 235. Okay, all right. So that's the first type. That's the most basic one. Everything was underneath of our radical symbol. The next type that we have is like number 3. So for this one, we don't have everything underneath the radical sign. So we need to get rid of the stuff that's not under the radical first. Okay, so the way you can kind of think about this is that radical part, just think of this as an x. So if we had a number out in front of this, so let's say this was a 2 square root of 2x plus 2, we can kind of think of it like 2x minus 10 equals a negative 2. So what would you do in that instance if this piece was an x? Well, we'd have to get rid of the 10 first, and then we would get rid of our coefficient. Okay, so it's the same idea here. We're going to get rid of this 10 first. So we're going to add 10 to both sides. So we're left with the square root of 2x plus 2 equals positive 8. Now we're going to deal with it just like we did the one up here, and we're going to get rid of that radical symbol. So again, in order to do that, we're going to square both sides. So those cancel out, and we're left with 2x plus 2 on the left, and 8 squared is 64. So then from here, we just have a two-step equation, subtracting 2 from both sides. 2x equals 62, and then dividing by 2 on both sides gives us x equals 31. And again, you're going to want to plug these back in to check your work. Okay, so the last type that we have here, so not all of them are going to be square roots. Some of them could be third roots, they could be fourth roots, they could be fifth roots. Okay, so we just need to do whatever that root is. We're going to go to that power. So for this one, since it's a third root, we're going to go to the third power on both the left and the right hand side here. So the third root and to the third power, those cross each other out. We have 2x minus 2 equals. We're going to take that negative 2 to the third power. Remember, when you're typing it into your calculator, you need to have parentheses around the negative 2. Otherwise, it's going to have a negative, and then it's going to take 2 to the third power. Okay, so that's going to cause a problem if you're doing squareds or to the fourth root or things like that. So make sure that you're typing that in correctly. So we're going to take negative 2 times negative 2, which is positive 4, times another negative 2, which is going to be a negative 8. So that's to the third power. Then from here, it's just a two-step equation. We're going to add 2 to both sides again. We get 2x equals a negative 6. Oh, I apologize. This is a 4, not a 2. I don't know where I got that from. So this should be minus 4. Sorry about that. All right, and then we're going to divide by 2, and we get x equals negative 2. And again, you're going to want to plug that in, double check your work, make sure that that comes out with the correct answer. That is all the types that we have in this one. That's the last part to our radicals unit. Make sure that you are working on the practice problems as well as your quiz. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you in class. Have a great day. Bye.